Hello everyone. Welcome to day 32. Yes, it's February now, so um now I can no longer go by just a date. So it is the 32nd day. So I'm coming to you live late, as usual on a Saturday, and excuse me, but I have my retainers in. I didn't even realize that as I was coming on this live. So here it is. I was getting ready for bed, and again, it was one of those things where I realized, hey, haven't gone live yet. So here I am. It is nice to be back on here. I have been feeling a lot better today, compared to the past few days, and yeah, I feel a little bit emotionally drained, but that's okay. I'm showing up anyway, and I want to share a conversation that I had with my fiance. We talked today on our walk, and I just found it so profound and so amazing to be just to talk to things and to contemplate out loud. I do really well in human design. I have a split definition, so I do really well with having someone else to bounce ideas off of and to just talk and process my thoughts and viewpoint and stuff like that with. So yeah, so today we talked about self-love and self-acceptance, and it is kind of wild because last night I was in bed and I was having a hard time falling asleep. So I was writing down all the things that um, I'm excited to offer in terms of my business. And one of those things is my self-love journey course. That was the very first course that I created. I spent so much time and so much love creating it. And that was 2 years ago. So it's been a while. It's no longer on the market as of right now. And yesterday I was contemplating, well, it's not the first time, but I was contemplating um, running it again, but running it this time live because in the past I've only sold it as a pre-recorded course. And yeah, so I was thinking about doing it live and just having people sign up, and we're going to go through the course together, and I would provide, you know, support via calls or via Telegram. So those were just some of the ideas that was going on in my head. But so I was thinking about my course, and my course is all about self-love and the different components that I believe in my experience have helped me love myself a lot more than I used to, and to even understand what self-love is, right? And so I was talking with I was studying my Gene Keys, which led to me reading the Gene Keys book, which led me to, a phrase in the book that I was curious about getting my fiance's perspective on. And so we talked, and that led to like this talk of self-acceptance. And so we talked a lot about self-acceptance, what that is, what it looks like. And it was just a very thoughtful, very philosophical, deep uh, conversation, which I really enjoy. And then we got, like, I'm not gonna tell you like exactly all we talked about, but what I ended up realizing, or as of right now, like my definition, or how I understand from a deeper level, I feel, about self-acceptance or acceptance in general is, and this is the way it makes sense to me. Let me know if it makes sense to you as well, or if you have a different definition or a different perspective on self-acceptance. But to me, when I accept myself, I see all parts of me as neutral. I don't see something as good or something as bad. And as I was speaking about it out loud with my fiance, I realized, yeah, when I put meaning and labels of good or bad, right or wrong to parts of me, whether that's my personality or what I like, what I don't like, what I do or what I don't do, when I put labels on that, that's what creates energy and emotion around it. When you put meaning to something, what does that make you, what do you make that mean about yourself? And so for me, when I was thinking about it, I was saying, like, if I fully accept myself, that means that all parts of myself I view as neutral, as it just is. I just am, rather than, oh, that part of me is good and this part of me is bad. Okay, so that was my like aha moment, or more like the conclusion to where the conclusion I came to when it comes to self-acceptance. So being able to accept all parts of you, when you can just see those parts of you as you. I know it sounds really simple, but when you no longer attach meaning to those parts of you and you just are. And one important piece about that is that the foundation starts from self-acceptance, accepting yourself just as you are. Just realizing that, hey, like, I have these parts of me, period, right? Instead of saying, hey, I have these parts of me and I don't like it, or hey, I have these parts of me and I like it. That is putting label. So I feel like I'm like saying the same thing over in different ways, but I think it's helpful to hear it in different ways, to hear it in different many times, as because I know that for me, at least that's how it works. So yeah, so really accepting yourself as the foundation, and from there, then you can build on top of that, right? Because I love personal growth, self-development. I love just the depth of humanity as a whole. And so the idea of like just accepting everything as it is does not sit well with me. But if I view it as, okay, I'm going to accept everything as it is, as a base, as a foundation. And after that, then I can build on top. I can build on, like, I can start looking at like, oh, hey, like, I fully love and accept myself here, but it would be nice to add this, or it would be fun to add this, or it'd be cool to add this, right? You build on top of that. And so I found that very interesting, and definitely like an evolved, or just on a deeper level of my own understanding of what self-acceptance is, right? So I know that, like, I'm pretty sure as of right now my stakeholder is lit up by having this course be ran live. So that is something that I do want to try, is live launching. So that's gonna come in the future. But yeah, so after that, excuse me. So after that, um, then we went and segued into talking about self-love. And my fiance asked a really good question of, when you love yourself, no, when you accept yourself, is that the same thing as self-love? Are you able to love yourself if you don't accept yourself? And then we were contemplating that, we were talking about it in many different aspects, and I came to the conclusion, or my current belief, as the limited knowledge that I have and experience compared to, um the truth with the capital T. I don't claim to know the truth with capital T, but in my opinion, I believe that you can love yourself even if you don't accept all parts of you. And that's so empowering. That's so empowering. I feel like that is so true though, because if you're able to see things that you don't like about yourself and still love yourself through it, and still love yourself regardless, you still love yourself on top of that, like, that's a big deal, right? And I feel like we need more of that. We need more of like the acceptance, and the acceptance that you can love yourself even if you don't fully accept yourself, which is so funny because it's like a cycle. But yeah, so that's the other conclusion. The other big aha is like, wow, I don't have to love all parts of me in order to actually love myself. And I know that some of us have um unwritten rules about what we can and can't do from what we have learned and developed and was conditioned to believe. So at least for me, I felt like I had these rules and these conditions. Like I had a rule book, like I had a rule book of what I can do and what I can't do and what is good and what is bad. And I had like a rule book of like, okay, if you do A, B, C, D, and E, then you can love yourself, right? Some of us have those conditions, whether we're conscious of them or not. Okay, so I just got reminded again today that, hey, like I don't have to love all or like all aspects of myself. I don't have to accept every single little thing about me in order to love myself. I can allow myself to love myself regardless of the things that I haven't yet learned to accept yet. And acceptance is a whole nother ball game. And acceptance is, I'm working through my Gene Keys activation sequence, which is a path in which you will, in human design, it's a branch of human design, where if you have 4 Gene Keys, 4 gate traits, and you really dive deep into them and really study and contemplate them, and through those 4 Gene Keys, those are what makes up your incarnation cross, which is also your life purpose in human design. If you're really able to move through that sequence, that is going to unlock your genius, unlock and activate who you are. And that is what I'm going through. And it is tough. Like, it is a lot. And it is no wonder Richard Rudd, the one who created the Gene Keys, says that take one Gene Key and study it for a month. Like, excuse me, right? And so I'm actually not doing that. I'm jumping from like one Gene Key to the next, but I am focusing on the 4 that are in my incarnation cross, and it is so good. And I was able to read it with my fiance today, and so we had a really fun time reading it. We read about gate 10, which is the gate of self-love, and in Gene Keys, there's 3 frequencies. There's the shadow frequency, the gift frequency, and then the city frequency. And then, so we went through the shadow, which is self obsession. And then we actually jumped ahead and read the city, and then we went back to read the gift. So the city is beingness, a being, and then so it goes from shadow of self-obsession to the gift of naturalness to the city of being. So we read all those 3, and I don't know, like I just do so much better when he reads with me. I think that's because my manifesting generator brain just wants to jump ahead and um yeah, just jump ahead, and like I not really focused. So when I'm able to read with him and he reads to me, it's so amazing. So I'm gonna see if he's willing to do that with me for the rest of my other 3. So anyway, if he is Robert, if you're watching this, I love you. And if you're able to read those with me, I would greatly appreciate it. But yeah, it was amazing. And so we read a lot about self-love, which is, tied in with the conversation we were having. So I just had such a lovely time today talking about that with him. And before we went to visit his parents, had lunch with them, visited our neighbors, and did a Costco run, and had dinner, and watched our show. We're watching Shogun right now. And yeah, and it's been a beautiful Saturday, and I have just the most beautiful roses here right now. I want to show you. I used to think that I would not like roses or flowers in general, but look at how beautiful they are. Like, oh, and these are actually pink. So when I saw them in the dark, I thought they were red, but they're actually pink. So they're so beautiful, and I love them. So Robert got these for me, surprised me with them, so I love them, and I love like how much life they bring to our apartment, and so they're amazing. And then we also he also got me, like, for my office, let me move around, he got me this orchid right here. Let me, hopefully I don't like mess it up. Yeah, this orchid right here. a white orchid with some baby orchids right here and here. Yeah, so it is super beautiful and I love it, love it. So yeah, I wanted to share my joy. But yeah, that is my life. February 1st, day 32. I hope your January was exactly what you needed, even if you did not like it, because that was me. I had a rough month of 2025. But that's okay. I learned a lot and I'm learning still, and I'm learning to be grateful regardless of the pain and the challenges along the way. So thank you for joining me for this live. Let me know in the comments what you think about self-acceptance, self-love, and yeah, I will sign off for now and go to bed, or go at least lay in bed and relax. And I will see you tomorrow for the next live. All right, see you tomorrow.